Hi folks, my name's Chuck Newt, and I'm with the Winking Pig Barbecue, and you're watching a new episode of the Barrel Grill. So, if you watched my first video in this series, you saw where I showed you the safety and whatnot, and at the end I told you I was going to begin by working on making the framing for the carriage underneath the grill. Well, my plans have kind of changed, and I'll show you why here in just a moment. And so at any rate, what I've begun is that I have started to mark my barrel for cutting the hatch in the top of the barrel, you know, for the opening in the, you know, so you can service and put meat on there and put your charcoal and whatnot. The large opening is what I'm cutting into it, or getting ready to cut into it. And I wanted to show you how I went about marking this and how you can do this yourself. Okay, so in order to mark this for the opening, the first thing that I found that I needed to do was to find myself the center line between the, you know, through the barrel here. And then once I got myself a center line, and also the center line going this direction, you can see I got a little bitty cross right here. Then I was able to use my square, and let's see, it's marked over here. So I was able to use my square and put it on this line and on the cross, and that gave me a perfect 90-degree opening for my grill here. So I just marked it right here, marked it over there, and then once I laid it down, I used the square just like this to get a line going all the way across as far as the square will reach. And to start, what I did is I marked here, I marked here, marked here, and use the square on the edge of the lip there. And I mark, and then once I got that one flipped, I actually found you see here, it's kind of odd. The square doesn't reach all the way to this second rib here. But when I've turned it around this direction, it does reach the second rib. So the ribs are not exactly centered, but I can go off this mark and what is square from here to down there, and that gives me my mark, and mark over here. So once you get that first line, everything else can work off of that. Because you also can use your square here. Once you get that line, once you get your mark over here, you can use your square right like that off your cross here, your line there. That gives you your line here, and you make the line exactly the same way as you did the first one. And then you can see where I have gone ahead and sanded that off so I could draw with a Sharpie a black line across there. Now, okay, so my next job, I marked in 2 inches on this and 2 inches over here, and then down here on the other line I marked in 2 inches on each one. And how do I go about making this curved line right here? It's really pretty simple. You get your tape measure like so, and then you just take your marker. Gotta get that out of my mouth where I usually keep it so I can talk. And then just hold your marker on the 2 inch and just scoot it along. Turn your barrel a little bit. Put your foot in front of the barrel to keep it from turning on you, and just scoot it along. Give the barrel a turn so you can go at it again. Put it on the 2-inch. You know, helps if you're touching the barrel with the marker. Just a little more to go. Now, so there we got a good straight line on this. And I would not recommend usually probably going much less than 2 inches in from the edge here, because when I measure this, I come up with about 5/8 of an inch on this lip right here before it hits the top or the bottom. In this case, it's the bottom of the barrel, and you got to account for that. You try to cut your line too far over to the edge, not only are you're gonna cut outside the bottom and basically cut your lip off of here. That would not be a good thing. So this is going to give us room for our banding to overlap on this without a problem. Now, and I'll show you right there. See that nice big dent? And so what I'm going to do is cut this hatch out and see if I can't somehow bend that dent back out, because what my issue was going to be, that dent is going to hit right somewhere about where I'm planning on having the carriage weld to this barrel, and it'd be really difficult to measure and account for this dent. And so I decided I needed to go this route before I started building the carriage for it, because I need to be able to measure off the barrel and do my figuring. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this cut out. Okay, folks, well, what I hope you're gonna see here is me cutting it, not only cutting this, but I want you to see I'm wearing gloves. I got earplugs in, I got glasses on, and you need to be safe. So here we go. Okay, so there we go. Now then, because I cut the bung or took the bungs out of this and left it sit, I got some oil in here that is contaminated because it's got water in it. And you can see it's all kind of a milky color in here. But I got to get that out of there, and then I'm going to burn it out. So that's my next project, get this thing burned out. Alright folks, so you've seen the start of this, and I'm going to continue on after I get this burned out, and we'll go from there. Alright folks, I wanted you to see that we have had us a pretty serious fire going on in here. You can see on the outside here where the paint is burning off. So I'm pretty certain we've got the oil burned off on the inside of this barrel. That's the goal. You can see also that I did the, what will be the hatch here, hatch cover. And we've had us, of course I put some regular, splits in there, but a lot of what I've burned in here has been pine. And that puts off a great hot fire to help burn off that oil with. You can definitely see where it's burning the paint off the outside of this barrel. So I think we've accomplished the mission, but I'm going to have to let this thing go ahead and burn itself out. So we're done for today as far as video. There we go folks. Okay folks, if you like what you're seeing, do me a favor, down at the bottom, hit like and subscribe, and then stay tuned. There's more to come.